Hi everyone, this is Samantha Russell from 20 over 10. Hope everyone is doing well. We're going to go ahead and get started here in just a little bit, so sit tight. I'm just going to let everybody start signing on. And as we are going through the presentation today, there'll be a few things that we'll want to point out. The first being the chat box. You'll see that anytime a chat comes through, you'll see that bright flashing orange, and that is the place where you can add in any of your comments, thoughts, feedback that you want to give, anything like that. While we're waiting for everyone to sign on, just to make sure everyone can hear me loud and clear, that the video and the audio looks good, I thought we'd do something a little bit fun today. In the spirit of the end of summer, hopefully everyone has got to take a vacation this year and do something fun, but instead of just telling me, yes, I can hear you and see you and tell me where you're from, why don't we do something where you tell me where you're from, but also like more physically where you're at. So instead of saying I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, attending here, say, you know, I'm downtown in my office overlooking Lake Erie, or I'm in my backyard sitting by the pool listening to your webinar. I'd love to be able to visualize where you all are. I'm here in our office in State College, Pennsylvania. So I'd love to hear where everybody else is joining us from today. And just to get some people participating, maybe we'll send a prize to whoever has the best answer. So if you are a current client, we can give you a 1 month free or something like that. And if you're a prospect, we can give you some money off getting started. So let us know where you're at. So Nathan said he's looking out his office window waiting for it to rain. Sounds good. It's really hot here, so hopefully it will rain here soon too. We have some people, I know who I spoke to earlier this week, some clients of ours who told me they were going to tune in from their vacation, a staycation at home, taking time to get some new educational training while they're taking a break from the day-to-day. David Andrews said, I'm in Thunder Bay in my office. I don't think I know where Thunder Bay is. Ontario, Thunder Bay, Ontario. Great. So we have some home offices here and then some regular offices as well. Somebody's sick in bed. Sorry to hear that. I hope you get better soon. So you guys can keep telling us where you're at. It's always fun to read. And in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and start a poll that we're going to ask everyone to answer, just to give us a little bit of insight into what you all would like to learn today. So you should be able to see the poll up on your screen, which is going to ask you which tool are you most interested in learning more about today. So the choices are meeting schedulers, live chat, virtual meetings, lead capture, file or information sharing, or Google tools. And you can choose as many answers as you want. Hopefully you want to learn about many of them. So we have some more answers from people. Somebody's sitting in their office in Charlotte, North Carolina. Amanda, who's on the line and who will be answering questions via live chat, is not too far from you there in Charlotte. She's in Raleigh. And so that brings me to the next point that I want to go over today, which is some housekeeping. So let me make sure. Amanda, can you guys all see my screen okay? Just make sure.
Yep.
Okay, great. So this webinar is being recorded and we will email it to everyone as soon as either end of today or tomorrow. And you'll be able to watch it, you know, as many times as you need to. We'll also be sending the slides to you specifically. So all the links that we link to, all the resources, you'll also have those as well. So that should be very helpful. Additionally, if you want your questions to be more private and not the whole group to be able to see it, then you want to go ahead and put it in the Q&A box instead of in the chat box. So the chat box, as you can see, everyone can see all those comments coming in right now. That's where you want to put any information if you're helping to answer someone else's question. If you have a piece of feedback that would be helpful for us, anything like that that you want the rest of the group to see. If it's just a private question you want to ask, then please put it in the Q&A panel. So I think I'm going to close this first poll here in just a second. So if you haven't answered, that one yet, please do. So it looks like right now the top answer by far is lead capture tools in terms of what people are most interested to learn about. And then the second, this surprises me actually, is virtual meetings is the second most popular answer. And then the third being the meeting scheduler. Fourth is file and information sharing, then Google Tools, and then live chat. So that's helpful. We will spend time on those accordingly. So let me just take a quick note that the lead capture is what we're going to spend the most time on, and then the virtual meetings. Okay. So all right. Let's go ahead and dive into the presentation today. So I'm Samantha Russell. I'm the one who's been talking to you thus far. Many of you have attended our presentations before. We give that one every month, and we invite current clients and some prospects that are considering using 20 over 10 to attend. 20 over 10, if you're not a current client, is a website platform specifically for financial service, the financial service world. We serve many, many advisors, and we allow you to both build and then maintain, update your website on our platform. Everything is archived for compliance, and then we also have a lot of broker dealers who use our back-end tool called Providence to review, update, and make changes to their clients or their advisors' sites. So with that being said, because we do build websites specifically for advisors, we get asked all the time about the tools that you want to see. What should I be using? What do I need to know more about in order to make my website a true workhorse and have it become something that allows me to become much more efficient with my time? So if we're going to have a website and we're going to invest this time and energy in it, we want it to serve more than one purpose, right? We want it to connect with prospects, with clients, to help us get more done with the clients we have, all of those things. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to review the actual top solutions in multiple different categories. We're going to talk about the tools that 20 over 10 has one-click integrations with, and how you can connect these tools together to automate different processes, and also what you should be considering when you're weighing your option, right? Because there's not just one tool in each category. There's going to be multiple options, and you should think about what's going to best fit your firm's needs. So if you're looking for more long-form content about all of these subject areas, we have a blog post you can see down there in the resource section that goes over every category and gives you the options and is much more detailed in writing about what you should or shouldn't consider with each option. So definitely check that out. And again, the link is there if you want to read it later. So before I go into all the different categories, I wanted to start by just talking about what our product actually has a one-click integration with. And the reason I want to start here is because I know as we go through every category, you all are going to ask me, do you support this? Do you have a one-click integration with it? So I thought I would just start here, get it out of the way, and then that way throughout the rest of the presentation, if it's not one of these four that you see on the screen, we don't have a one-click integration, and you'll have to embed it through the source code. And we'll talk about what that means. If you're not a 20 over 10 user, sorry, but this will hopefully give you some information that you can see, and then the rest of the presentation will just be about those other tools. So to start, the four that we integrate with are Redtail, MailChimp, Google Analytics, and BrokerCheck. I'm going to actually show you in the back-end editor. If you go to 20 over 10 and you are in your website, right, your website editor, if you go down here to Site Settings and then you click Integrations, that's where you're going to find these four integrations that we have as one click. And the reason that these are the four we have right now are they are by far the four most requested and popular, and the ones that can give you the most bang for your buck in terms of really making your website a workhorse. So for any of them, if you just hover over it and you click Set Up, a little pop-up's going to come up and you'll just follow those instructions. So in this case with Google Analytics, all you have to do is enter your tracking code right here. If you say, how do I get my tracking code? You know, what is that? If you click on this little help bar right up here and you just go to our support site and type in Google Analytics, you'll be able to get step-by-step instructions on how to go to Google and get that code for your website. FINRA broker check, we have that. The Redtail and the MailChimp integration, I'm going to talk about those a little bit more robustly. So everybody knows with Google Analytics, you put the tracking code in and it will track your website and it gives you a wealth of information. The way that these two other integrations work with our platform is really, really great. Any forms that you have on your website, so you can see here, this is a landing page that talks about, you know, you only get one retirement, let's make it a good one. We can help you answer these questions, fill out our form, and we'll be in touch. Any lead who fills out this form, when you activate Redtail and MailChimp, two things will happen. The first is all of their information will go into your Redtail account. If they're already in your Redtail account, it doesn't duplicate and make another contact. What it does is check to see if any of the fields are not currently filled out on that contact. So let's say you had John Smith in Redtail, but you didn't have John's phone number. It will update with his phone number in your Redtail account. Simultaneously, if you have MailChimp activated, you can choose one list in your MailChimp to connect to your 20 over 10 website, and all of the forms that are filled out, that data will add those email addresses to that MailChimp list. So it's a one-to-one integration. The nice thing is it will happen with Redtail and MailChimp simultaneously. So we're going to pull the data from this form and put it in both of those systems. I know there's other CRMs that you can use, and I know there's other email marketing service providers you can use. Those are the two that this integration works with. They are by far the most robust we have found. The most advisors use them. They have the best price points. So we really are excited about them. If you're using other products, there are other ways we can work with your website, but those are the two that have this one-click integration, right? So even with Redtail here, when we click it, all you're going to do is put your Redtail username and password in here and connect your account, and it's going to be up and running, which is why it's truly called a one-click. So those are the four that 20 over 10 integrates with through that one-click integration. If you have any questions, again, you can contact support and they will certainly help you get them added to your account if you're not using them already. But we highly suggest that you do. All right, so let's move into our first category, which is online meeting schedulers. This is one of my absolute favorite tools that anyone can add to their website. And we've really seen a lot more advisors taking advantage of this in recent years. The one thing I always get asked right out of the gate is like, well, do I have to keep my calendar completely up to date all of the time? You know, what if I wasn't hoping to take meetings at a certain time of day and then I forgot to put a hold on there and then somebody books it, right? First and foremost, you should know that you can only make certain times available. So if you only ever want to make your calendar available via your website on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 2 to 4, that would be all that's available to people wanting to book a meeting. So you have the choice of what times you want to make available and block those off. There are some things you want to consider. You want to make sure that you're choosing an option that is going to allow you to make meetings for both prospects and current clients in most cases, right? Because what we're finding is that a lot of clients don't want to email back and forth with you to find the best time. They'd love to be able to go to your website and just book directly on your calendar. And right, if they have a meeting need, they can just do it at a time that works for them without having to go back and forth with you. Also, you want to make sure you choose an option if you have multiple people in your firm that gives you the ability to what we call round robin, right? So if you have multiple people that should be getting leads from the website and it shouldn't all go to one person, then you want to choose a meeting scheduler that allows you to do that. Our two top options that we're going to talk about for you today, which are Schedule Once and Calendly, they meet all of the criteria that we think you should consider. So they allow you to do the round robin, to block off certain times, to set it up for holidays and all of those types of things to be blocked off. Additionally, both of these products integrate with a lot of other tools. So ideally, right, if you're going to have somebody book on your calendar, you want that calendar system to automatically deploy a calendar invite and block it off on whatever calendar system you're using, like Outlook or Google Calendar. Both of these systems will do that. You, of course, want to go to their individual websites to find out what they integrate with. But additionally, they both integrate with different CRMs. So as somebody signs up from your website, you can also have all of that information being fed directly into your CRM. So just creating another efficiency for your website. Calendly is a little bit cheaper. They have a plan that's actually $0 to get started that doesn't have as many of the features, but they certainly will meet your needs if you're a one-man or one-woman shop. I'm going to click on these links and actually show you what this could look like on your website. And these are both websites from advisors we've worked with. So you can see here, we have this little hover icon here that says Meet with Us. And when we click on it, we're going to get this Calendly integration that pops up. So you can choose from a 30-minute introductory call, a web meeting. So this is being integrated with GoToMeeting. So you can directly meet with them via their GoToMeeting. And then the visit our office. So if you actually want to meet in person, you can schedule that as well. This is just one format you could do. You might have yours set up to say, current clients, prospective clients, to sort of filter them out first, and that's perfectly fine too. One other thing I want to note is in this example that I'm showing you, you can see that we're still on the website. So this is popping up on their website. So they have embedded this into a 20/10 website. If you don't want to go the route of embedding it, you don't have to. You could simply link to your Calendly URL. So every Calendly customer would get, calendly.com/Samantha Russell, and you could make a button on your website, and when somebody clicks it, it just opens in a new window for them to schedule. So that's always an option too. For schedule once, let's just look at another example. Here we have one where it's not popping up and hovering, although schedule once does have that option as well. But when you click schedule an appointment, you can see the first thing that we're going to be asked to do here is to choose a location. So do we want to choose the Bloomington office or the Indianapolis office? If we choose Bloomington, then it's going to ask us for our time zone. So we'll do that. And then it's going to give us available time slots. So in this instance, they're not asking us first for, are you a current client or are you not? They're just simply asking us to choose a location, and all of the meetings here conceivably would then be an in-person meeting, right? So we can see the duration time in that instance is 90 minutes. They have that contact us button on their homepage for their current clients, but you can see here, schedule online, schedule an appointment. You can have multiple different kinds of links with these tools. So you might have one specific one for prospects in a different location on your same website. You can set it up that way too. A couple questions that have come in as we're talking. Any cons to be aware of with Schedule Once or Calendly? We typically find it's easier to embed Calendly into your website. Again, just to make clear, none of these tools are 20/10 products, right? So we cannot support them for you. We can give you some guidance and some best practices if we're aware of them, but we're not going to be able to go into Calendly or Schedule Once and set them up for you, and we're not going to be able to manage this process for you. So you need to find one that you're going to be most comfortable with, and I highly suggest checking them both out and seeing what would be a better fit. Our team just finds that the code that Calendly provides to embed into the website tends to be a little bit friendlier. If you're using something different, though, like if you're using Time Trade or any other tools, again, we don't have a one-click integration with any of these options. So any of them, you're going to have to take the code that they give you and put it in the embed section, embedded into your website. So you can use whatever tool you want. Just keep in mind that you'll be, adding it into the code directly, and our team is not going to support the tool that you're using directly because it's, again, not a one-click integration. So with some of the other questions people will ask a lot of times about these tools, when it comes to integrations, they're always changing in terms of how they can be integrated. But at a base level, what I would suggest is find one that whenever somebody does book, that it will conceivably put them also in your CRM, right? So you don't have to manually go back and enter in all that data, just creating another efficiency. You guys certainly keep asking questions and we'll answer them as we go through. And if there's one that you really want to pop out to me, if you put it in the Q&A box, it kind of jumps out at me a little bit better than in the comment box, just so you know. Okay, so let's move on then to live chat. So here's an example of what you can see here in live chat. This is a website where I did this picture for you because we're going to see what it looks like during the day. I took this screenshot late at night. So late at night, if this advisor isn't actually there at their computer to talk with you, this message pops up, right? We're not currently online, but if you leave a message, we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So one of the things that people will often ask us with live chat is, does it take a lot of manpower to manage it? And I would say for the most part, no. Think of it as just another way to collect leads from your website. Because with all of the tools that we're going to talk about today, you don't actually have to be there in order to use it. It's sort of counterintuitive, like why have live chat if you're not there to actually chat with somebody? But the idea, kind of funnily enough, is most visitors to a website, if they see a live chat message pop up that says, "Hi, welcome to my website," or "Hi, how can I help you?" or "Hey, do you have any questions?" They usually actually think you can see them. And so they think they need to respond and to answer. And these live chat systems, once that person responds, are often able to collect data on them so that you can add them as a potential lead. And even if they can't automatically collect the data, it gives you an opportunity to just say, "Oh, wow, thanks for stopping by. I don't know if there's any particular pieces of information I could help you with, but here's one of my most popular blog posts," and give that to them. And that could open up the door to starting a conversation where you can then get their email and phone number. So we've seen a lot of people have pretty great success depending on what they add as their message, right? So Amanda wanted me to make sure that I point out for all of you too, because we get asked this a lot, in terms of just how does it work, right? So like I said before, you'll be able, when you set it up, to choose the times that you want a standard message versus an after hours or like an out of office message. So let's say from 9 to 5 every day, you want the message to be, "Hi, thanks for stopping by. How can I help you?" Or "What financial questions do you have?" If you don't respond within a few minutes, like let's say somebody live chats you at 3:30 in the afternoon and you're in a meeting and you can't live chat them back right then, with most of the systems, you choose a default time that then another message is deployed. So it could be 2 minutes, it could be 3 minutes, however length of time you want. If you don't answer the live chat, then the system will automatically send another response. So it could say something like, "Hi, Samantha's actually not available right now, but if you leave your email and a quick message, she can get back to you as soon as she's ready or available." So it's just another way to automate everything. So don't feel like someone's going to send you a message and then never get a response. So yes, you can set up away messages. This is another option where it will integrate with certain CRMs. Or email marketing systems like MailChimp. So a lot of these systems, if somebody submits a chat to you, you can automatically have it then be popped into your MailChimp, for instance, and added to a leads list that you have there if you're segmenting. And then, of course, for a lot of them also, you can tie it in with analytics. So you can see for all the people that visit your website, how many of them actually chat you. So that's also a really great tool to find that out. You can see where are those chatters coming from. So, if you're based in Richmond, Virginia, how many of the people chatting you are also based in Richmond, Virginia? So some really, really great information that can help you make some other decisions. Great question. So Bob's asking, is live chat a tool or a feature? This hopefully will make things more clear. Live chat, again, is not something that 20 over 10 offers natively to our platform. It's a third-party tool that you can purchase and set up and add to your website. So these are some options that I have listed here. There's an actual company called Live Chat, confusingly enough. So that's one option. And then there's another option that we find that's really easy to add called Drift. And then Sumo, for any of those of you that may use Sumo for other marketing tools out there, they actually just launched really recently a new live chat product. I don't have any information really on that, so I've just linked to the article announcing it. But if you're using a lot of their other lead gen tools or gatekeeping tools, you could add live chat conceivably that way as well. So let me just pull up two of these to show you what it would actually look like. And hopefully, Bob, this will help answer this. So you can see down here where it says chat now on this North Landing Partners, no matter where we scroll on the page, we're going to see that chat now feature always is going to stay there hovered. So as we're going through, it's there. And then if we click on it, in this instance, they first make you add your name and email before you can even chat with them. You can set this up lots of different ways. You can see down here it says powered by live chat. You might have it where a message automatically comes up first saying, hi, how are you today? Because you think more people will respond to that. Or maybe you absolutely want to get their name and email before you even message with them. So it's going to depend to you on how you want to set it up. Again, this is not native to 20 over 10. This is just another tool that you can add to your arsenal to engage with more prospects and make your website a true lead generation machine. The second option, the one that we looked at before, here's Green Mountain Planning. So they're using a company called Drift. So you can see now that it's normal business hours, instead of that out of hours message that we saw earlier up, we see it saying, can I help you find the answer to a specific question? So a lot of you are probably wondering, when do I actually get alerted that somebody's messaging me or on my website? If I am using Drift for my business and one of you comes on my website and starts typing but never hits send, I'm never going to know that you were on my website and almost sent me a chat message live. It's only going to send me the ones that somebody actually types in and clicks enter. So you're not able to all of a sudden see everybody who's on your website at one time or anything like that, but it does give the consumer the perception that you can see them. And that's where it can really be helpful, is that a lot of people will engage with you just because you're saying hello and reaching out to them. So if you have a practice where you have an administrative assistant or maybe a junior staff member who's really looking to hunt leads down, this is a really great tool to have them just be on live chat all day in the background and engage with people as they come in. It's a really easy way, just to, again, sort of chit chat with people as they come in and then qualify them and then determine if you should pass them on to the appropriate salesperson. So both Drift and live chat are two of the options that we recommend. Again, you can also check out Sumo. Keep in mind that these can be configured in multiple different ways. I'm just showing you two examples. I know a lot of people were interested in our next topic, but if you have any further questions about live chat, please go ahead and enter them into the chat box or the comments section. Okay, so next we're going to talk about virtual meetings. So a few things that you want to consider with virtual meetings. Are you going to only be using this for one-on-one meetings or meeting you with just a couple clients, or are you going to be using them for things like webinars or events where you're going to have lots of people joining at one time? Are you going to need a different meeting ID for every meeting you set up, or do you also want the ability to have a what we call static URL, so a URL that never changes, that you can put somewhere like on a website and make it so that someone just clicks it and they are able to get into a meeting with you? So that's another thing to think about. And then of course, what kind of integrations do you want? Again, for most of these meeting tools, you can go back, as we talked about before, and link it to things like your online meeting scheduler. So if you want to use Zoom and Calendly together, for instance, those two systems can then talk to each other. So here's a few of the virtual meeting tools that we recommend. Full disclosure, 20 over 10 has used 3 of these. So we've used Zoom, GoToMeeting, and Join Me just here in our business over the years. We've tried out all 3. We currently use Zoom right now. And have found it to work best for us because we do host a lot of these webinars, and Zoom has a great webinar platform. I know a lot of advisors who will use WebEx, and ScreenMeet is another option that has come on the scene recently. It's been kind of targeted specifically to certain industries, and the financial services industry has been one of them, in that they have certain features that might be a little bit more compliance friendly. So all of these are options. Again, you would want to check them out. With any of these tools, the way that we typically see people using them is once, you're going to integrate it with your online calendar, your Gmail, your, Office, whatever tools you're using. And then once somebody is saying, yes, I want to meet with you, in addition to the, getting the calendar invite, there would be a standard meeting link in there. So even if you're planning to call them by phone, you can get on the phone, be talking, and then in the middle of the conversation, you might say, you know what, can you just click on that link that was in the calendar invite, and then we can share our screen. So you don't have to always use this for every call you make, but it really enables you to quickly get in front of somebody and share a screen if you need to. Another way that we find that people find it really helpful to use these is, obviously if you have clients that are far away, you can do video calls with them. But even clients that are local, if you want to record something, you can actually hop on, record yourself talking, just like you all see me talking now. You show your screen, show things to the client in their portfolio, highlight things, and then send them the recording. All of these platforms give you the ability to record the meeting. So you can basically host a meeting, but not actually meet with the person live, and then just send them the recording afterwards. That would be a great use case for, how you might want to use one of these as well. Let's see here. Bob is asking if we have, if we can show an example of how you can set up a subscription portion of a site to go to recorded webinars and sort of unlock them. There is a way that can be done on our platform and others. The only thing you want to think about is we really aren't a e-commerce platform, so we don't have any native credit card processing capabilities. There are some other platforms out there like Squarespace, for instance, that have them built in natively. However, Squarespace doesn't archive your website for compliance purposes. So obviously there's a trade-off. But there are ways that you can set it up so that there's sort of a gate on a page, and only after somebody gets a password can they unlock and see things. So that is an option. I don't have an example to show you. It is a little bit more difficult to set it up that way if you're looking to collect payment before someone can view a course or something like that. So that wouldn't be part of our standard setup. That would be an extra hourly charge to implement that. With all of the meeting options that we're looking at here too, again, I know it's like beating a dead horse, but you want to think about what other integrations do you have. So if you're using Redtail and your meeting option can integrate with Redtail, that's way better, because then next time you go to look at that client's account, you're going to quickly see, oh, actually I met with them on September 19th. It's going to auto-populate that data into your into your Redtail app. So if you can make those systems talk to each other, much better. Okay, this is the part that everybody was asking the most about. Like 70% of you, I think, were asked for lead capture for us to spend some time on it. So that's super exciting, and we're going to dive into that right now. So the fourth way to boost your business is to use some of these lead capture tools. As I discussed a little bit earlier, with 20 over 10's one-click integrations, you can easily set things up natively with tools like Redtail or MailChimp. But there's also tools that a lot of you are probably already using that offer some sort of lead capture tool that you can utilize on your website. So we're going to go over them. The one thing I want you to all think about is there's really two versions of lead capture. There's ones that you can buy off the shelf. So that would be like a Riskalyze, eMoney's lead capture tool, things like that, versus ones that you create natively that are much more organic and specific to your firm. Typically, we find the results are going to be better if it is native to your firm, in the sense that people can tell that it's specific to you, that you're the one who authored it, but not always. And you just want whatever it is that you're, giving away, if you're trying to capture them in that way, you want to make sure that's enticing enough for your particular audience, right? So here's a couple that we might want to think about. So we talked about Riskalyze, eMoney, MailChimp, and Sumo. So I know you're all going to want to see examples. So let's just dive right in and I can show you. So here's one. This is a way, if you're already using eMoney, all eMoney users get a lead gen URL that they can add anywhere online to capture leads. So what we've done here is in one of our standard 20 over 10 buttons, so anyone can make a button on any web page with 20 over 10. When you click it, it's going to launch to your eMoney platform, which you can brand with your own logo and all of those things. But it's going to ask a series of questions of the prospect, and then all of this data and information is then going to automatically be captured in eMoney for you to see the next time you log in. So this is a really easy way for you, if you already are using eMoney, to just build on this with this tool. This tool is free to anyone who's already an eMoney user. And so again, that's just a button that's been added to a web page. But when you log into your eMoney account the next time, you're going to see all that information. And I believe they also send you an email whenever someone actually completes that lead capture. A lot of you obviously have seen Riskalyze or are interested in seeing more about it. So here's one site we have where they have Riskalyze embedded. So there's a quick video that explains what it is. And then when you click what's your risk number, there's a little widget that's going to pop up that's going to ask you some questions, and as well as capture your first name, last name, and email address to deliver to the advisor. So in this case, you can see it didn't open it in a new tab. It looks like we're still on the website. So in this case, again, you would be getting an embed code from the provider. So in this case, Riskalyze would give you the embed code and you would drop it into your 20 over 10 website. If you're not sure where you would put it, you would contact our support team and they could, help you figure out where on the site you wanted it and then drop it in. But again, you would be getting the embed code from the third-party provider and putting it into your website to make it launch live. So these are really great because they're styled nice, they look really professional, they're going to still be part of your brand, but they're just working off of a tool that you've already paid for and are using. So those are two options if you're using either of those systems, really easy ways to add lead capture to your website. If you're not using those, or maybe you want to do something a little bit different, you can set up something through MailChimp. So MailChimp is one of our favorite tools because it really is a true workhorse when we talk about getting a lot of things done, right? So again, as we talked about, any place on your 20 over 10 website where you want to collect emails or have people fill out forms, you can have it set up that they're automatically added to a specific list in your MailChimp. But MailChimp also allows you to activate certain sequences so that anytime a new contact is added to a list, they can receive an automatic email with certain information. So for instance, if you have a white paper or you have a gated piece of material that you want to send to people, but you also really want to get their email address, you can make it so that they put in their email to get that piece of content. They're automatically added to a MailChimp list for that piece of content. So it could be called retirement white paper. When they put in their email address, they are then sent the retirement white paper automatically from MailChimp because they've been added to that retirement white paper list in the back end of your MailChimp. That's a widget that MailChimp will provide to you that you can add all different pages of your website. So that would be one way that we see a lot of folks collecting information about someone. So here's another example. You can also just have a embed set up. So here's one, right? They have a pop-up. Download our free 5 must-have financial tips for the gig economy. So you can download it here through this pop-up. They also have this MailChimp widget here where you can sign up to receive their newsletter. So you might want to place something like this on your blog page, for instance, or your contact page. So these are all ways you're collecting information from leads that are going to automatically feed into another system that hopefully is then integrated with even a third system to make your follow-up so much easier, right? Because if you have it automated that anytime someone fills out a form, they're going to receive an automatic email from MailChimp, you never have to write that email. And that makes it a lot easier for your staff to stay up to date and make sure that any information that you're collecting is actually being utilized, right? And it seems a lot more seamless for the prospect or the client to get something automatically rather than have to wait for you to send it manually a few days later. Sumo is another one. For those of you not familiar with Sumo, it's a whole suite of tools that you can use on your website. Again, these are all these third-party options. We don't support any of them. We just know these are all tools that advisors are interested in and want to know more about. So here's another example here. We have a couple different places actually where they are using Sumo. Let me just find one. Can't see everything. Amanda, do you remember where on this page it was, actually? Everybody's getting a good view of the website.
It usually pops up.
Okay, it might not be popping up right now because I visited this a bunch of times in preparation for the webinar, but Sumo will have even like this bar here at the top. That's typically something that Sumo will offer. You can add little bars at the top of things. You can add pop-ups. You can anything in order to put people on your mailing list. So this one, there's like a Calendly link. So he's got all kinds of widgets on his website here. So another just tool that does lead capture and can help people get on your email list. We actually used to use Sumo at 20 over 10 to collect information from our blog before we built our own native lead collection tool in. So because obviously we have a whole team of developers here, we built one native. But when we were a new company, we were just getting up and running, we used Sumo's lead collection tools to collect subscribers from our blog and then populate them into MailChimp. So lots of different ways these tools can work together. And hopefully just by seeing a couple of these examples, you'll have some ideas of how you can go back and set them up on your website to collect more information about leads that are visiting. Any questions about that? Let me just go through and make sure. Oh, I thought this was pretty intuitive, but going back to one of the previous ones we were talking about, people were asking with some of the virtual meetings, can you share your screen? And all of the ones that are listed in that last section under virtual meetings, they all allow for screen share. So screen share, I believe all of them except for ScreenMeet allow for video, although ScreenMeet may have updated recently, so you of course want to double check, but typically it's both video and screen sharing that is included. All right, so let's go down to information sharing. So sharing files, right? You always want to think about the use case for how you're actually going to be using this before you choose which tool. And the number one thing I would caution people on is security. So we have a lot of advisors who will say, I want to be able to share documents with my clients and I want them to share information with me. If you aren't using a third-party system that's secure, you're really putting yourself at risk and it's probably not worth it. So in that voice, we would highly suggest the first two that offer Precise FP and ShareFile, Citrix ShareFile. They become liable for any breach of security or anything like that, right? You're sending clients to a third-party website that ShareFile or Precise FP owns and operates to share that information. It's not going to be native to your website. Google Drive is fine if you're maybe just doing like online resources or you have some basic information you want to collect from somebody about like their preferences and meeting style and things like that. Or maybe you want to survey your clients to ask them some questions, but it's definitely not going to offer the same level of security that the other two will offer. So here's a couple examples that I just wanted to show you. So with Precise FP offers a ton of different tools too, by the way. So they actually offer some help with lead capture as well. So you can create, buttons and things like that. If you're not using 20/10 and you're using another website vendor or WordPress or something like that, and it's not so easy for you to create a button as it is on our platform, then you could use Precise FP's buttons to quickly add lead capture to your site as well. So you can see here though, when you click fill in our contact form, it's going to take you to this Precise FP landing page, and then you're going to go in and fill out the form. So again, it's taking you to a third-party website off of your website. You're linking to it, but it's going to make it a lot more secure for the client and you when you're collecting that data. We can see ShareFile. Here's an example here. You can send documents securely. Again, they're linking out directly to ShareFile, but it's going to be branded with their logo. So it looks as though it's your own personal vault that you built for your website. Show you another example of ShareFile here. So on this site, we have need to send documents, and when you click it, it's actually more of a widget that's going to pop up where they log in, and then it takes them to share those files. So both of those are good options. Just click on some of these here for you. Again, if you're thinking more just collecting information, surveying clients, or maybe you're sharing information with them. Sorry, that loaded funny because I had already sent it down to that page. You can see here we have a questionnaire, a financial fitness survey, and then a financial security survey and retirement. When you click on any of these, it's going to tell you need permission in order to access that. So you would give your clients that you want to take the survey permission, and then once they have permission, they can go in and fill out the Google survey or utilize any of those services via Google Drive in order to share that information for you. One of the things I really want people to keep in mind, though, is this is only going to be a boost to your business if you and your staff members get in the habit of using it. So if it's on your website, but you still email the link to everybody every single time, then it's not doing you any good to put it there, right? The whole idea is pointing your clients back to your website so that they get in the habit of using it. And rather than emailing you, that they're much more likely to say, oh yes, I can get it on my website. And that's a delicate thing. You don't want to make it seem like someone's paying you to be their advisor and then you're telling them, well, go to my website. So, being able to word it away like, here's the link, but actually, if you go to my website on this page, you'll find the link for this as well as some other items that would be helpful to you. Or I just want to make sure I remind you again, it's on my website in case I can't get to, answer you within a few hours and you need the information right away. So phrasing it in a way that reminds them of where they can find it, but still being helpful is really important. So those are three of the file sharings that we would recommend. I've had some people asking about Smart Vault is another option, or eMoney's Document Vault. since I don't actually, personally set up our websites, I can't speak to either of those. But again, all of these are third-party tools. So as long as the company that you want to use is secure, offers security, at a secure HTTPS site domain, and we can embed them into our system or just link out to them as a third-party link, then it shouldn't be a problem at all to use them. Okay, so I know we're running short on time here. The final one that I want to make sure that we talk about is Google's suite of products. And the best thing about this is that almost all of these are free. And if you're not using them already, the top three that we absolutely recommend that you set up would be Google My Business, Google Analytics, and Google Search Console. And you can get so much information from these three services alone, and the bang for your buck that you get from them is just tremendous that I can't say enough that we highly recommend that you set those three up. So here's all of the tools. You can obviously upgrade and have some paid versions of each of them. But those are the ones that we really suggest you use. Again, Google Analytics would be a one-click integration with 20/10. But setting them up, you'll unlock so much information about where your prospects are coming from, how they're finding you. If you're not sure, how you can actually use these, we have a ton of information on our blog as well as past webinars. And we're going to be doing a webinar, can't remember if it's next month or the month after, but upcoming webinar about Google Analytics. And that will be really, really helpful for anybody who's interested in learning more. Somebody just asked the three that I recommend. So here they are right here. Google My Business, which is going to help you rank higher in Google search engine, so SEO boost. Google Analytics, which is going to give you data about who's visiting your website, how they're using it, where those prospects are coming from, who's completing your calls to action. And then Google Search Console, which is what this little screenshot here is from. And that's going to unlock queries, right? So it's going to actually tell you which keywords people are searching to find your website. Actually, here, I can just sort of pull it up here a little bit more. So you can see here how many people in 5 days searched different search terms. So that would be the impressions. How many times that people searched those search terms where your site was listed. That's an impression. How many of them actually clicked on your site after it was shown to them is clicks. So then you get your click-through rate. So for this search term, how many people actually clicked over to your site would be your click-through rate when you divide those two. And then it shows you where you would be positioned on the page. So if you are using this, and you look at result number 50, a keyword that's sort of obscure keyword, but it's relevant to your niche, well, you should go write a blog post about that because it's showing you that you're starting to edge your way up in the results and you can make some great traction. And you can also track where you're positioning in organic search over time. Over all of the different search terms that you want to rank for. So this is going to unlock tons of information about your SEO performance and what you can do to improve it. We regularly look at our Google Search Console to say, okay, what can we do? What kind of blog post can we write? What kind of campaign can we run on social to rank higher for some of these keywords? So again, we don't help people start financial planning businesses. We provide a website, which is just one piece of it, but you can see the search term down here, how to start a financial planning business. In 5 days, we had 24 people click over to a blog post that we had a guest contributor on who wrote something on that. And so you can piggyback on other subject matter that might be relevant. It just will unlock a whole world of knowledge for you if you utilize Google Search Console. It's still a pretty obscure tool, I find. Not as many people are aware of it as they are like analytics, for instance. So if enough of you would be interested, we would, be happy to put a webinar together of just about this tool because it is so powerful. Absolutely, let us know. We love to hear your feedback, which leads me to my, last point. I always tell people at the end of these, connect with us on LinkedIn. Here's my direct, it's pretty easy. Samantha C. Russell is my LinkedIn name. And tell us, what's helpful to you, what you'd like to see us do further webinars on, subject matter wise. We really love hearing from our clients and what they find to be most helpful. Or if you're not a client, but you just really like attending, we love having you. And we would love to, share more information. So I already got one vote for a webinar on Google Search Console from Krishna. Oh, hi, Krishna. That would be great. So I put a couple of the resources that we link to here on this page. The first 3 are support articles so that you can go, if you're a customer of ours, you can go right in and link those 3. So how do you link MailChimp, Redtail, and Google Analytics? There's the support articles to show you. And then the tech tools for advisors, that post I told you about, is right there. Finally, I know some people are going to email and ask us, hey, can you help me with some of these things? Again, we're just trying to be helpful, provide some education on what's out there, but this is not our bread and butter. We set up the websites, but these are all third-party tools that you can use. So if you need help navigating what should you purchase, what should be part of your tech stack, you want advice on just somebody to walk you through it, I can't recommend enough Jennifer Goldman Consulting. Her website's right there. Jen's practice, a lot of people know her as my virtual COO. She's been working specifically in the financial services industry for years and years. And her business is all about helping people choose tech that becomes their chief operating officer, that automates their systems and keeps everything moving. So if you're looking for someone to help you navigate these choices, make purchasing decisions, and set things up, absolutely connect with Jen there. And if you need, to connect with her more directly, you can certainly reach out and we will connect you with her. So, what else? Somebody's asking, not tech stack. Thank you for the person who edited that for me. How well do your websites rank in Google searches? Our websites are coded, when we initially set them up, to rank really, really well, in the sense that the code is really clean and simple. We're going to add alt text, we're going to add page titles, we're going to add metadata, everything you need to rank well. But that's such a general statement, in the sense that, what do you want to rank for? If you just want to rank for the best financial advisor, well, then no, it's probably not going to rank that high, because you're competing with everyone in the world on that search term. But if you want to rank locally, and we add in your keyword data, and we add in stuff about your geographic location, it's really going to come down to the content that you add. And then additionally, how often are you going to be blogging, adding fresh content, keeping your website up to date? You'll continue to see your rankings go up. But we really build all of our websites to meet the SEO standards, the highest SEO standards. So again, we're going to add in all that metadata that's important. But we also offer an SEO Kickstarter package. So if you're not sure about, what keywords you want to add or how you want to add them, we have someone on staff that can help with that too. Somebody's asking about an integration with Laser. I always say this wrong. Laserfish, I think is how you say it. I am familiar with it, and it would be very similar to like a Precise FP, in that there would be a button for sending documents back and forth and collecting information. Typically, it's not a one-click integration, so you would have a button on your website, and then the person would click it, and then it would launch them into the document collection or sharing of the information that you want. So it would be pretty simple. Somebody's asking about if we have embed codes and are having difficulty adding it to their website, can the support team add it for an hourly fee through 20/10? There should be usually I'm sorry, I should read this out loud. Is there an embed code? Matt, I'll send you some more information about that to help you out. Whenever you're having problems, those certainly contact support, and they can help you. Sometimes, depending on the company that you're using, the embed code isn't good, or it might not be being placed in the right spot. So what our support team can do is make sure that where you're adding it is the right location, or it could just be bad code, in which case you'd want to go back to the provider that you're getting it from and explain to them the problem that you're having with it. Great questions, everybody. Thank you so much. Let me just see if we had any others. Oh, this is a great question that I know, Amanda, you already answered it offline here, but I thought I'll answer it for everyone. Somebody is saying whenever they're in Google Analytics and they look at the keywords their site is ranking for, about 90% of their keywords are showing up as not provided. So that is why you want to add Google Search Console, because Google Analytics isn't going to tell you those keywords that your site is going to be ranking for. It's Google Search Console that is. So that's why you want to use that tool. Analytics is going to show you which pages people visit, how long they stay on the page, what they do when they're on it, you know, what do they click to next? Where did they come from? Did they come from LinkedIn? Did they come from another affiliate like NAPFA or, you know, somewhere where you're listed? They're going to give you all that information. Google Search Console is just going to talk about keywords. So what keywords are driving people to your site for both organic and pay-per-click traffic? Great question. Somebody's asking about, can you include a company Twitter feed? Yeah, social media feeds, again, Twitter, Facebook, they'll provide you with an embed of how to embed it into your website, and then you can drop it in line into 20/10's platform for it to show up. Thank you for everyone who's saying that this was helpful. It's always great to hear. Of course, we want these webinars to be helpful to you. So again, if you have additional questions, please feel free to ask them and I'll hang out for a few more minutes, or feel free to connect to us you know, via email and send those questions into marketing. Amanda, who's moderating right now, that's the email that she will monitor as well. So if you have ideas for a webinar, if you have questions you want to ask offline, anything like that, get in touch. Of course, we'll be sending out the recording and the slides to all of you. But again, we really thank you for joining and always want these to be helpful. So we appreciate all of the feedback and have a great rest of the day. Thanks, everyone.